Come on now, I want you to be honest with yourself. Are you taking Jrue Holiday's career or Damian Lillard's career? Because I don't think there's a bad choice. I mean, with Damian, he's made over $280 million, and that's not including endorsements. He has a signature shoe with Adidas. He's a top 75 player, a multi-time All-Star, multi-All-NBA teams. And when you think about Portland, I think Clyde Drexler and Damian Lillard. Everybody else comes second. And shit, in most circles, this guy is known as the second best shooter behind Steph. But the only...
Wait, is this the new... Would you rather be Carmelo Anthony or Andre Iguodala? Is that the next gen?
Yeah, and this is exactly where this is going. And it is hilarious.
Interesting. Let's finish out the take.
Knock against Damian is that he hasn't won an NBA championship. He hasn't won anything. And then you have Jrue, who, by the way, has also made around $257 million in career earnings. So not that far behind Damian. He's a two-time All-Star, multi-defensive teams, and now a gold medalist. But above all, he's a two-time NBA champion, and he wasn't a slouch on any of those teams. He played a massive role in both of those championship runs. And sure, you could say he's not the greatest scorer, but he did drop 51 points on the Pacers the season before last. He just happens to... So again, be honest with yourself. Lillard, Jrue Holiday.
Be real. Jrue or Dame, Sage, which career would you rather have?
I feel like he picking Jrue because be real with yourself is crazy. But in terms of me, I'm actually taking Dame, and I know that's usually not like me. The same thing in the Melo conversation. At some point, it's like, bro, when I retire, I'm going to be pissed that I was someone that couldn't get the job done. And maybe Dame has one ring in him in his career left. But for the most part, I think we agree he wouldn't be the face of that franchise. So I never got the job done, but I was like clear-cut number one option, and I was damn good at it. I have hella memorable moments. I've waved off Paul George and Russell Westbrook in the same game. Hell, my breakout game was in the playoffs where I'm clapping for the ball and I hit a fadeaway buzzer beater. Speaking of buzzer beaters, they literally revere me as one of the clutchest players in NBA history with a slogan that quite literally is called Dame Time. Even whether it's overrated, underrated, or whatever, they compare me to fucking Steph Curry. I'm definitely, maybe that last part was glazed, but I'm definitely saying it's close. It's very close. I'm not mad at anybody that says Jrue. I do think Drew's more accomplished than like an Andre Iguodala if we're comparing the two arguments, but I'm actually say Dame.
I am going to go with Jrue Holiday. And it's crazy that y'all call me Mr. Rich Guy on all of these platforms, but when it comes to these conversations, I'm the frugal one. You know what I'm saying? I'm the guy that says there's a certain threshold of money where I can worry about these little things in life that I want to worry about. And when it comes to these two, to be honest with you, both of them have made a lot of money, so that's a null and void argument. At that point, would I rather be known as two-time NBA champion, one of the best defensive guards of all time, and a winner, or Damian Lillard? Now let me joke. I can't say it like that.
Hey, nah. I'm on HP, chat. He's gonna get his shit off in this video because I'm on HP, but do not let that slide. He's a hater.
Nah, man. I mean, I feel it. I do think the argument is a little bit more interesting when like one is making more money than the other. But and I want to be remembered as a winner, man. I don't care about all of that.
But Dame is a winner.
Okay. One conference finals appearance.
People will tell you he's a winner, man. I'm just following the culture.
Not as much of a winner as Jrue. So.
He ain't win as much as Jrue, so that work. Man, they sleep on Dame. He'll get one before he retires. Locked. Shout out Giannis.
The Aces have won back-to-back championships. A'ja Wilson is the star of that team, but has she made as much of an impact on her team as Caitlin has for the Fever?
What would have to happen for Caitlin Clark to pass A'ja Wilson in the MVP race?
A'ja would probably have to not play any more games this year.
Oh, shit. Here we go.
Broken WNBA records. She has changed the game.
Imagine how great she has to be in order for so many other players in this league to have so much animosity toward her.
Is Caitlin Clark MVP?
No. Look, I get it that CC has definitely drawn a ton of eyes that are blind stands, and as a result, the calm down crowd is out there. Absolutely, it happens all the time. It's our glorious toxic cycle of basketball fandom. However, Miss Wilson, bro, she's like 40, 10, and 15 blocks. No, not even close. Let's genuinely not even pump the brakes. Let's stop talking. Get out of the car. Google where we're going because you clearly got the wrong destination. Caitlin Clark is fantastic, generational, and I do think that the hate boner that half the league has for her is weird still. But bro, She is not on A'ja Wilson's level at all.
This is why the hate exists for Caitlin Clark, bro. Is because of the fact that a certain group of y'all just want to put her in conversations and give her shit that she may eventually get there, and trajectory-wise probably will, but at this point in time, it's just not the time. It's just not the time. Again, I know Sage said some crazy numbers, but legitimately, look it up. A'ja Wilson is averaging like 27, 13, 2 blocks and 2 steals on like good efficiency, especially for the W. No, I'm sorry, 17, 8, and 5, or whatever Caitlin Clark is putting up. That's just not enough to be in that discussion. If we just want to talk hoop, she is just not an MVP winner just yet. Will she probably get there? Probably, because the thing she is doing in her rookie season is crazy. But even when it comes to the Olympic team conversation, in hindsight, listen, I think even just play, she may have actually deserved that spot. But during that time, she wasn't going on these crazy runs yet. And if people felt as if, like, from a basketball perspective, she just didn't deserve it, I don't think that's the worst take in the world. You know what I'm saying? You can't understand marketing is a big thing for the WNBA moving forward, and Caitlin Clark has already aided in that, but that doesn't also mean that you can just fucking gift her everything just because marketing. No, there's other ways to market the sport outside of her. She still plays a big part in that with all the things they're doing around her, but that also doesn't mean just hand her everything.
Yeah, with the Olympic thing, to add on what Bezos was saying, as the season progressed later on, it went from did she deserve the spot to, okay, whether she did not deserve the spot back then or not is debatable, but right now, probably. So that's the point. Like, Caitlin Clark is definitely going to progress and trend upward in the WNBA. Absolutely. She's going to be a fantastic player. I think everyone on the planet would be shocked if that was not the case. However, A+ potential don't mean A+ player today. And again, Miss Wilson, bro, I'm like not trolling. I'm going to say these like crazy numbers again, and I promise you, if I were to just search her name on Twitter, I'd see a legit stat line that goes, yeah, 42 points, 13 rebounds, 8 assists, 4 blocks. Like, it's fucking nuts. Like, if A'ja Wilson was a, like, I don't fucking know, Nikola Jokic in the NBA or some shit, we wouldn't even be yapping right now.
Say that, oh man, the bubble ring don't count. But everybody who was in the bubble who didn't win, ironically, always got a story about how they didn't want to be there.
Go look at it before the bubble. What was the best team in the league?
We was the best team.
Our team chemistry was through the roof.
It was through the roof.
We went everywhere together.
Everywhere.
I've never seen a team operate the way that 2020 team did.
And that's why I'm mad they broke us apart, man. Like, we could have won 3 curtains.
That's what I'm saying. And they talking about the Lakers, the bubble championship. Nobody wanted to win, and it was just a sorry championship. Okay, we was gonna win anyway.
Hey, Sage, you got the floor on this one, man. This one's for you.
This shit depresses me every time. And I make the same speech every time, and I don't get tired of saying the same speech every time because you niggas didn't listen to me. I tried to tell y'all during the bubble that the Kyle Kuzma third star seek was toxic and stupid. No, just have a system around LeBron James, Anthony Davis, and a bunch of two-way players and physical bigs. Boom. What do? Look for 6 Man of the Year candidates. Look for, can Kuzma take the next step candidacy. Look for, hey, that Alex Caruso meme, I mean, is he the third star? And then we triple down the following season and trade for fucking Russell Westbrook. No, Russ fans, that's not slander towards Russ, but considering the formula was right there schematically, too many chefs tried to cook. It's so annoying. It was so stupid. And that was in like 4K. I have documentation of me saying that these were mistakes, saying I didn't like these moves as much as everyone else did. And now we're sitting here like, well, in hindsight, you should have. No. In hindsight, y'all was hyping that bullshit. That's one. But now what's a new part of our speech, B-Souls, and everybody watching this video? You telling me these niggas like we're having fun? You telling me that these niggas was all-time high chemistry, that every Laker out there that was on that team is nostalgic about that team? That tells me you had something special, but you let the media get to your head, or you let the nostalgia Laker brand get to your head. It is ridiculous how many times in history the Lakers have shot themselves in the foot, especially in recent history. My God, I can't stand the way that we fell apart. We hold LeBron James. LeBron isn't perfect, but we hold LeBron James, we hold Anthony Davis, and we hold Laker Nation by trying to flex that we're Laker Nation. Shit pisses me off.
The main thing I always wondered about that year is like, how much does the bubble and everything that went on actually change the result of that year? Because I definitely hear where they're coming from. Before everything shut down, the Lakers were already like a top 3 team in the league. You would probably argue was the hottest team at that point in time. So they were already championship contenders going into the season. They were proving why they were up until everything shut down, and then they came back and obviously proved that they were still championship contenders. But I am a firm believer of the butterfly effect, and I don't know. I'm looking at that Bucks team right now. Before everything shut down, yes, they went on a 3-game losing streak, but they were winning at a 66-67 win pace, bro. Like, that Bucks team was different. And also, I think the next couple of years proved it for the Lakers. Bron and AD throughout this whole run have not been healthy players. Like, throughout their whole Laker tenure together, for the most part, they have had injury problems. 2020 is one of the few years where that didn't happen. So just that whole like 3-4 month gap, I do feel like specifically for the Lakers, that helped them. And I understand that's a crazy card to pull, but they would have been injured if the bubble didn't exist. I'm not trying to pull that, but it's just an interesting conversation to have, though.
Yeah, I hear it. Obviously disagree with it, but I do hear it. I'm not even going to necessarily combat it. What I will say is that, I'm just glad you brought up how hot we were prior to anyway. Like, the people that have that stance, I can't help people that are literally wearing Mickey Mouse hats and putting LeBron in Mickey Mouse hats in their fucking Twitter profile pic. Those people are lost. I can't help you. But what I will say is he brings up the Bucks team. This Lakers team, hell, Laker fans are nostalgic about that one weekend where we smacked the Bucks and then the Clippers back to back. It's just like, you can't tell me that the fans are nostalgic and love that team, but now the players were having fun. But media hype and Laker logo soloed that for y'all? That's inexcusable. If you think they would have lost, go for it. Man, this is just so damn stupid. They literally went away from what worked. I wish if it was like, if we had time to yap it up, I would literally compare the roster of like the 2020 Lakers and like the 2023 Lakers and just ask yourself, like, are they even trying to mirror what they did? No, it's stupid.
All right, this next one is from Dr. Umar. Yes, I said that.
Who?
Kobe's the GOAT, right? Outside of GOAT status, Rasheed Wallace, arguably the second greatest power forward to ever play the game. He's better than Barkley, just as good as, if not better than Garnett. Maybe a step behind Tim Duncan, but I'm not even sure about that. I believe Rasheed Wallace may have been the greatest power forward of all time. He was Shaq numbers against Shaq, unguardable, one of the only power forwards with a 3. Look at Rasheed Wallace's game. He had no weakness.
Transcendent. No weakness.
Like Allen Iverson, they were not company men. They don't dance to nobody's tune but their own. That's the problem with Jaylen Brown. If you really
my God.
That was the word of this.
Nah. Don't pause it now. Nah, it was a bunch of, don't pause it. Keep going. All right, let him cook.
Injuries. He was a beast, man.
He was a beast. Grant Hill was going to be the GOAT until he got injured. Before Mike, behind, and before Kobe had his ankle never got messed up.
I just didn't know that take stemmed from talking about Jaylen Brown that then turned into another hot take. I mean, Rasheed, greatest power forward of all time? Hot take or hot ass?
Hot ass. PU. Now, what I'm disappointed in, not even is the takes, but Dr. Umar usually repeats himself like 4 times over when he talks.
That shit is funny. That shit is funny.
I wanted him to say, Rasheed Wallace is the greatest power forward of all time. Rasheed Wallace is the greatest. Yo, so I'm disappointed there, but he had like 5 different hot takes. I guess though, if I had to blindly rank,
he just said a lot. He did say a lot.
If I had to literally rank his takes, I guess Kobe is the GOAT, is the smartest one. The Jaylen Brown straight was crazy. I guess the Jaylen Brown straight would be 2. Wallace is at the bottom. I forgot the other things he said, but he shotgunned the hell out of us right there.
Coming up, we all wanted to be like Kobe and LeBron. All the new kids now want to be Paul George. I would maybe have thought like Kevin Durant.
These young niggas don't know shit.
Oh, it's them.
Oh, shit. Hey, buddy.
God.
How you been?
It's not just
why
the
the
mob
fuck
player.
are you watching basketball and saying Paul George is my favorite?
Because
fuck out of it. Do you know Kevin Durant exists?
Because they want to play like him.
Do you know Steph Curry exists?
He's a dynamic wing that can play offense and defense. And he has a super smooth game. The crossover snatch.
It looks good.
It looks so. It's aesthetically pleasing to them.
That's stupid.
Real talk.
Is it dumb for young players to idolize Paul George's game?
No. And as annoying as I'm about to sound, comment section, Chatatrons and things of that nature, and no, it's just not. It makes sense. I'm not a fan of the eye test skill talk as much as anybody else. Trust and believe that. But if you're talking about an aspiring young wing that genuinely has the talent of making the NBA, yeah, Paul George may be like one of the prototypes for said player. You're talking about a guy that in the most basic terms was a top 3 MVP candidate and a top 3 DPOY candidate. So that clearly shows that there's a level of all-aroundness to Paul George's game, let alone are we talking about the bag, if you will, the handles. We're talking about the jump shot. We're talking about just straight up scoring ability. And again, we're talking about the defense. For a young player that's trying to get into the NBA to be like, oh, I gravitate towards Paul George rather than like a Kevin Durant, I'm not mad at that because not every wing is 7 feet. I don't care about that 6'9" bullshit. That nigga's 7 feet. Not every wing is 7 feet with that kind of handle and automatic. We understand Kevin Durant is more efficient than Paul George could even dream of being. But when we're talking about who they aspire to be, and granted, they're on the younger side too. They're trying to tween. So here's this 6'9", 6'8" guy doing it. I'm not mad at it. The only thing I'll say is when they say he's better than some players, like if they were to say, yeah, Paul George is better than Kevin Durant, all right. If they were to say Paul George is better than Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, Steph Curry, all that, okay. But he can be your favorite player. Who the hell are we to tell players what they should and shouldn't like?
Yeah, I think it's a realistic. I think obviously being a star in the league is so hard. So the correct answer, the PC answer here is take pieces and bits from every single player in history. Right? The correct answer is probably look up to role players rather than stars, because the likelihood is you are going to be a role player in this league. But out of all the stars, like you said, bro, KD is a unicorn. Like 7 feet tall with a handle. Some parts of KD's game, you can try to replicate it, but the reason why it's effective is just not going to work for you because he's 7 feet tall. Stephen Curry used to be a guy that a lot of players related to, but when we found out that his shooting ability is like generational, one of a kind, you can't really replicate that shit. I feel like even modeling your game after Steph Curry is a no-no now, and rightfully so, because bro, likelihood is you are not going to be a good enough shooter to have the green light that Steph Curry and that Damian Lillard have. So when I'm trying to model my game after players in the league, and I understand 6'9", 6'8" is still a very tall player, very tall person. Not everyone's 6'8", 6'9", but when it comes to wings who have potential to get into the NBA, a lot of them are going to be 6'8" and 6'10". And I'm looking at Paul George, two-way wing, got a handle, can shoot from the mid-range, can shoot from 3, can attack the rim, athletic, can shoot free throws. The only real deficiency in the game is probably playmaking, but it's not like he averages 1 assist a game. Like he can still get you 3 to 4 assists a game. I don't see what's wrong in modeling your game after Paul George at all, to be honest with you.
Especially if these wings are coming into the league not trying to play make. So like that at that point we're chopped. Again, these niggas is 19, 18, 20, 21, 23 tops. Yeah, they're not trying to Chris Paul, LeBron, you feel me? They're trying to get a bucket.
He at his best is the best two-way player ever. like in NBA history.
Ever?
Yeah, no,
You're
ever.
lying now.
Who's better? Two-way?
Probably LeBron James.
What?
Two-way play? LeBron James.
Defense? LeBron is not a better defender than Hakeem at all.
LeBron James should have a DPOY. Let's just keep it a stack.
Hakeem has one.
Yeah, agreed.
LeBron got robbed.
He got absolutely
Joel,
robbed.
Marcus
Gasol
was second team and won DPOY. Put the team part aside.
No,
who's a better defender? Hakeem
Who's
or
a better
LeBron?
player overall, LeBron or Hakeem?
Oh, I didn't say it's LeBron.
No, you asked the question.
I said two-way.
You said best two-way ability. Who's the better defender? Hakeem Olajuwon.
By far.
Who's the best offensive player, arguably of all time? LeBron James. You pair them.
LeBron is the best defender ever. It's Hakeem Olajuwon.
Is it signed and sealed?
Wait, so hold on.
He's a walking 28, 12, and 4 blocks.
They don't watch the team.
Dennis Rodman.
Best defender ever. That's cap. I don't understand this because LeBron James, is he or is he not classified a two-way player?
No, he's classified as all around.
Okay. Is he classified as a two-way
all
player?
around is two-way.
Is he a two-way player? So
wait, what?
LeBron's not a two-way player?
For me, I recommended this clip because we had an argument like this on the Let's Keep It Above podcast. And for me, I'm essentially doubling down, man. Who you think is the better two-way player? That is entirely up to you, I suppose. I think disqualifying LeBron, though, is one of those like NBA fandom things we're doing where we're trying to like not aggressively, but passive aggressively have more niche smaller give glory to all player conversations at the expense of like, hey, LeBron, we're not saying you're worse than Hakeem Olajuwon, but we do think you're a worse two-way player. Like, what does that even mean? But in terms of being a two-way player, LeBron absolutely is. I would definitely argue that he is, considering that if you were to narrow it down, if you were to narrow his game down to just scoring the basketball and playing defense even, yeah, he could do those things. Now, is he obviously a great, if not all-time passer, which if not is crazy, he's an all-time passer. Absolutely. But I'm saying in terms of, okay, I don't think that because he can pass the rock that he's disqualified from a two-way player conversation. I think that's like a weird tax. I don't know if I'm illustrating my take right, but I think that's like a weird tax thing to do, to disqualify a player for essentially being a better player, because even if, again, we were to take out passing, he's still one of the greatest two-way players, if not arguably the greatest two-way player of all time. And last thing before I get to Bezos, I love that defense is like this arbitrary thing that we cannot ever agree on. Like, someone will say Bill Russell's the greatest defender ever. Someone will say that Tim Duncan's the greatest defender. Someone will say Hakeem's the greatest defender. It's something that we literally cannot agree on, because niggas, half the people don't fuck with defensive stats, and then the other half is kind of like eye test. It's fucking hilarious.
Listen, man, a square is not a rectangle, but a rectangle is a square. All right. Just because you're an all-around player does not mean you cannot be a two-way player. However, because you're a two-way player does not necessarily mean you're an all-around player. That's ultimately what it comes down to me when it comes to this debate right here. All right, like Sage said, why are we taxing LeBron for being able to pass? What the fuck are we doing?
Basically, like, literally, I'm not gonna yap. Continue.
What the hell are we doing over here, man? And I guess my question is, if this is a bad parallel, let me know. But when we're talking about the best shooters of all time, right? Can I not bring up Steph Curry because he's just more than a shooter now? Like, compared to Kyle Korver and, I don't know, Ray Allen. Well, Ray Allen's more than a shooter too, right? But when it comes to sharp shooters, just because Steph can dribble the basketball and pass, is he not one of the best shooters of all time? Like, I don't know. This is just kind of a weird argument to me. I get where they're coming from, but if we're having a conversation about two-way players and we are essentially saying the better two-way player is the worst player, like, what conversation are we even having at that point?
Like that's what I'm saying. Like, what kind of propaganda is that? To add on to your shooting analogy, because I know some people are going to try to dunk on it, I have a way to, like, necessarily clean it up. It's like arguing Steph Curry isn't the greatest pure shooter of all time. And then, well, what's pure shooting? I'm just talking just spot up, catch and shoot. One, again, you could argue he is. I would. But then two, that's going to be like this weird way for today, you arguing that, like, fucking Kyle Korver or Klay Thompson shoots better than Curry for today. When it's like, okay, but if someone asks you who's the best shooter of all time, oh, easy, Steph Curry. Like, all right, bro, like, shut up. Like, what are we talking about, bro?
I do think this argument is very, like, defensive leaning, though. I will say this, like, I think me and you understand the concept of, like, one person's defense could be a little bit lower than the others, but them offensively is so much better. You'd say that the person with not as good defense is the better two-way player, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So if we extend that to the extreme of, like, let's just say, I don't know, Stephen Curry and Andre Iguodala, right? Like, who would be a better two-way player between Steph Curry and Andre Iguodala? I feel like even though a lot of us would agree Steph's offense is, like, so much better than Andre Iguodala's, but because Iggy's a better defensive player and can give you 17 or 18, he beat a better two-way player. So that's the devil's advocate take that I do see, but nevertheless, it's just semantics.
Yeah, it's definitely a semantic thing, and it's also like a weird Oprah Winfrey kind of you get an award, you get a label thing that I'm going to keep agenda pushing, because in the two-way conversation, even if I must, like, obey the rules and regulations of it, it almost seems like you guys just want to say better defender that can also score, because most of the time, like, the idea that you would look at a player just scoring, no passing, just scoring like LeBron James to Hakeem Olajuwon, the idea that you could easily say, oh yeah, LeBron's just a better bucket than Hakeem Olajuwon, and then defensively, I mean, I'll give it to Hakeem, but it's not that bad. Most people would go, nah. Hakeem's a better defender, and he can keep up offensively, so he's the better two-way player. If you want to get off LeBron and Hakeem, Jimmy Butler, Paul George was another one that was going on for years and years and years, where Jimmy Butler's the better defender, and he can keep up with Paul George offensively, so he's the better two-way player. It's kind of like, if this is your who defends the best while can also average 20 points per game, just say that. Again, if you're minimizing the pool just to get your shit off, that's fine, but don't lie about it.
Like, if someone was like, yo, Trae Young's better than Curry or something, right? I don't someone could just be like, dude, oh my God, just stop. Like, that's...
What?
What do you mean?
What? Yo, Los, bro. How's Los been, bro? Nah, he wrong. I don't have a take. That nigga wrong. I don't know what to tell you. No, Trey being better than Steph Curry at anything except maybe passing is crazy.
I want to hear the elaboration. Let him
it's a
cook.
debatable thing. Like, I just want you to know, like, if we're just going off of pure just what he's doing, like, he just scored 48? I'm just saying, bro, like, that's, like, insane. That's, like, not normal. Like, if someone...
So it's just like, well, Trey dropped 48 and 12.
Type shit.
Just saying, it's not crazy. Curry can drop 48 and 12 too. So if someone were to say Trey's better, you're like, come on, bro. That's if basketball was debated that way, oh my God, you would never know who's the best, especially in this era where Demon should drop 80 any given night, and then Luka will drop 73, and only one of them numbers I made up. This is crazy.
Type shit, man. That's my response. Type shit.
No one talks about Golden State. How much losing to LeBron?
Why is this the music?
Hey, right. Why is it dramatic ass music?
Then adding Kevin Durant. Yeah. No one looks at it that way. Yeah. You lost to LeBron James. Yeah. 3-1. Yeah. Same shit. 3-1. Yeah. And then you ask for Kevin, can you come help us? Yeah. No one asked for him. Yes. Draymond, they called Kevin Durant.
You know, they pulled up on KD in the Hamptons with that crew.
But that's what I'm saying. How are you 70? How do you go 73-9, lose 3-1, bring on the #1 scorer because it's the #2 player in the NBA? You bring him on your team, and nobody looks at y'all. It's the narrative. KD was the king.
I see where he was going with it. Okay.
That is an interesting point.
That is interesting, yeah.
Because throughout all these years, still rightfully so, in my opinion, we've been shitting on Kevin Durant, weakest move in NBA history. But we don't really look at the Warriors enough in this discussion. Man, y'all did win 73 games and recruited the second best player in the world. And KD, we need you. And then double down on it like years after, too. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. If we didn't get KD, we would have lost the year after. So... hey, man.
Yeah, I want to say something because I'm a firm believer that Warriors team wins regardless without the injuries, without the Draymond suspension. I'm a firm believer that I truly believe they could have went 2-0, but this ain't the time for me to push any Curry or Warrior propaganda. This was crazy. I ain't gonna lie. Gil kind of cooking. The idea that we only talk about Kevin Durant, like Draymond Green, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, whoever the fuck called him, didn't call Kevin Durant, who... come on, bro. I understand how y'all feel about KD, but he's Kevin Durant to beat LeBron James. And as Bezos mentioned, they're kind of like very open and honest about, oh yeah, we can't beat that nigga. It is kind of crazy. Mind you, I think they're downplaying themselves, but that's still crazy.
Yeah, I might have to re-examine Steph Curry's legacy after that. Is he really a 4-time champ? Come on, bro.
Yes. Yeah, 2022, 2022, 2022. Yes.
So he's a 2-time champ.
Oh, my.
2015 and 22 count, man, but not all rings are the same.
Shit, I'm giving them at least 3. I dead believe they win. They win, if not the suspension.
I'm giving them at most 3 rings. How about that?
Who you agreeing? What the fuck?
No, he said at least. He get 2 half rings for 2017.
So you're giving him 2 half rings, and then the ring he actually won, and then the 2 he actually won.
Yeah, man, and it's fine, man. You know, I'm not a ring merchant. I don't need the rings to establish how good someone is. But if we talk about how many rings, pure rings, pure rings he got.
Domination.
If you really do the math.
Hot take. This, you know what?
Is 2015 even a pure ring? If we really want to talk about it.
Oh, brother! You know what? Make this a TikTok. Make this a hot take. The Warriors win any fucking way. All right? I understand that Kyrie and Kevin Love got hurt, but they win in regardless. They had Stephen Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green. They were able to match up and score better than Cleveland at that point in time. Not only that, but y'all act like in 2016, Dre ain't get hurt because you're glorious king. Why'd I do all that? Your glorious king. Just you know.
He instigated it. He did instigate that.
Thank you. I couldn't think of the word. I'm on 1 HP. I couldn't think of the word. But yeah, come on, bro. LeBron didn't instigate that shit. So at the end of the day, I can understand if you discount the 17 and 18 rings, but for me, I'ma always say if the dominoes were to truly play out in all the multiverses 10 out of 10 times, who do I think wins 2015, 2016? I think there's more scenarios where the Warriors win those, and then 2022 was happening regardless, dog. So we walking out with at least 3.
Oh, I bet. Yeah, 2022 is just locked. Okay.
2022 is locked. What? You can't take out 2022. What universe 2022 don't happen? But you gonna injure more people on that boo ass roster?
It's cool, man. It's cool. I already got my ring. I don't need to defend that.
Oh my God, I got mine too. It's just been 5 years.
5, damn. It's really been that long. Half a decade. Damn.
Fuck.
Could it be me, Jack? Could it be me?
Figure the fuck you waited 15 to get one. You just ain't nothing new.
And I got it. Come on, bruh.
Nigga went through high school with no rings. Out of here.
You did too. Come on, buddy.
Not college.
Yeah. Yeah. Come on, bro.
In college, I was turned.
With that being said, man, W Hot Takes. Watch this video right here where we reacted to hot takes from you guys instead of hot takes from the internet. Well, technically, it's still the internet, but y'all know what I mean, man. Y'all takes. With that being said, we're out of here. Peace.
Peace.
If I sounded stupid this video, it's not the normal things. I don't have AC.